You're pretty for a black girl.
Are your family cleaners?
Where are you from?
Small penises.
When I think of microaggression, I think about racism, which has become so normalised that you don't call it out when it happens.
You don't speak like a black person. What does a black person even sound like? That's so stupid to me.
I actually have had someone said to me to go back to China.
Oh, she's Spanish, or she looks South American. She's definitely up for sex, or she's got to be very sexually active.
Why are you being a stereotypical black angry woman?
Oh yeah.
That is more hurtful than being called a nigger because you feel like they actually mean it.
Oh, so when you go back, do you
Oh, are you Colombian? Or you're a drug lord? Or, oh my God, do you have Mexican hats at home? Do you eat fajitas? Does your mum constantly cook paella? Do you eat chili con carne?
Small willies.
Yeah, that is a pretty
That's
negative
my
one.
least favourite, I'd have to say.
Yeah.
You're really articulate, open brackets, for a black person, close brackets.
I think I'm pretty average.
Well, we're all pretty average, mate.
That's what my
Every
ex-girlfriends
penis
have told me.
Every penis is about 6 inches long.
Yeah,
Every single one.
yeah.
terrorist? It's pretty bad. It's pretty rude.
This happens a lot. I'll be walking past a car and people will lock their car door, or people will like move their handbag onto the other side if I sit on public transport with them.
Just because I'm a brown guy on the tube carrying 2 bags, you get the shifty looks.
In the media, we're so desensitized to the word. The word terrorist is used every single day, 1,000 times a day, to describe everything. I mean, you see terrorist on your news, your social media, your television set. So it stops having the impact it should, because I mean, there isn't a more appalling thing you can call a person.
If my beard is longer, then immediately it's something that people can look to and attack. It's a stigma that is associated with many Asian people.
If we all go to the door in one group, we won't get into certain clubs, won't get into certain restaurants, won't get into certain pubs, because they assume because you're black or person of colour that you're going to be more trouble than a big group of white lads. And you kind of just accept that's just the way it is.
I remember I did a gig once and I came off stage and a guy was talking to me from the audience, came on and said he enjoyed it, blah, 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 just chatting, and then he eventually had to go, but instead of saying bye, he just went, very nice to meet you, and did a little bow like that. But you could, as he came up, you could see the regret in his eyes.
This assumption that you know how to twerk, listen to a certain type of music. Like, I'm also Jamaican, so loads of people just assume I listen to Bashment, I know how to dirty wine and all this stuff.
It's kind of like people are defining my blackness for me and deciding what blackness is and how I should live that. And then if I don't respond or cohere with that, I am not black somehow.
You ever get called a banana?
I have been called that, yeah. Not by people here, but people over there.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. For those who aren't in the know, banana is a Chinese person who behaves white, so yellow on the outside, but white on the inside.
My group of friends was very much an eclectic mix of people from all types of backgrounds. And I was then labelled a coconut or a bounty bar for being brown on the outside and white on the middle.
The problem with calling another Asian person calling you banana is they're denying you your heritage and your own decisions about who you are and where you're from.
I think it depends on where your comments are coming from. Are they coming from curiosity? Do you generally want to know? Some people can be quite naive by accident because they just don't know any better and they're curious and they want to know about your culture, about where you're from.
It's kind of like if you had a backpack and each microaggression was a weight that was added to your back, right? One won't kill you, it won't break you, and you'll be able to carry it, but you'll feel a little heavier, right? And with each one that happens, you'll be able to carry the load less until finally you will break under the weight of it. So if you're never able to question the first microaggression that happens, all that happens is you get to the point where you just break.
every time we talk about microaggression and just open about it and say, oh, this is what that made me feel, and this is what, it just allows you to connect with the fact that you're part of the system that is a problem, and you don't think you're above it or different from it, or oh no, I'm sorry, I read The Guardian. I'm not part of that.